reputation now and into 1.0. Welcome to the episode. Alright guys, just before we get into the main content of the video, I'd like to discuss a very big issue in relation to what's happening with underground facilities at the moment, in relation to Geist Armor, specifically the ASD branded Geist Armor. Now guys, as you can see in the footage here, you're seeing boxes on the ground, and this is a big problem. So the whole problem is at the moment is we've got dupers as well as exploiters basically cycling through a bunch of different boxes to find what they want, right? So the problem is that normal players can't get it at all under any circumstances. To give you context to this whole situation very quickly, it is 12 plus locations per one piece of Geist Armor of the ASD brand. So to work out the math on that and the time it would take for you to get even one set would be weeks or months on a normal playthrough basis. So if you are seeing people in full Geist Armor, especially with the cowl head attachment on top, which is the robe, the cape on top, the cowl is separate, by the way, it's a separate piece. So your chance and probability of receiving the same piece twice over those 12 plus missions at a time is astronomically high. So people are literally breaking the game, getting banned for it, by the way, and if you are to buy it or even just try it on, you will get life banned. So do not buy it from anybody. Do not try it on. Don't do anything, okay? It is all cheaters and exploiters and dupers getting it, and it's completely illegitimate. You'll get life banned. Don't just have anything to do with it right at the moment. Now, we've only into the first 7 missions of the investigation underground facilities gameplay loop anyway. The ASD stuff is going to be far, far, far more accessible as we move forward towards the end of that entire gameplay loop anyway. So if you want to run it, you're going to have probably a 1 in 5 facility chance of getting parts and pieces, though they're not always going to be guaranteed the ones you want. You'll get duplicates, triplicates, quadruplicates, maybe more, of the same piece from different locations in future as well. So guys, just don't go near it. Those people are getting banned. The footage we have here, Lord Diablo got for me with my mate in my org, and that's a very tame example of what I've been seeing lately. I've been seeing boxes stacked on top of boxes neatly and perfectly, 6, 8 high, and other ones on the ground, especially around the chest armor area through engineering. Just stay away from it. We currently have every different variant of the normal Geist Armor available to sell to you guys as well in-game. So if you actually are interested in actually getting an actual Geist Armor set legitimately, and that's not the ASD stuff, and you're not going to pay through the nose for it, come and hit us up in Salvation's Hope. And yeah, we'll give you the heads up on things, or say something in the comments you want the Geist Armor. We've got black, obviously. We've got the snowblind, which is the white version, not the ship part. I don't know, it's stupid. It's called snowblind as well. But anyway, so snowblind, black, desert, forest, and rogue, multiple sets. So yeah, that's what I've been doing for the last couple of weeks. That's why I've not made a video until now. Needed to investigate the investigation missions to see what was going on with the ASD armor. And yes, it is fully duped, it is fully exploited, and it is fully obtained by cheaters. They are not in the game to play the game. They are there to drag down as many whales and good players like yourself and myself into a lifetime ban with them, okay? They're not there to do anything but screw you over. Stay away from the ASD Geist Armor specifically. And yeah, if you want to get normal sets, go to reputable people in the game and organizations that specialize in it. As you know, we're an arms dealer, and this is what we specialize in, including ship parts and other procurement services. So yeah, anyway, let's get into the video. All right, guys. So reputation, right, got dropped in 2021 into the Star Citizen universe, and it is something that is imperative to your success in getting out of Stanton at 1.0. Yeah? So I'm just going to play this.
This is without a doubt my favorite system that I've worked on at CIG. I am so excited to see it getting into the hands of players and into the hands of other developers.
We felt that because this is such a crucial part of our game, that our reputation system had to be much more evolved than that of a traditional MMO.
I love working on these systems that allow other systems to even happen.
This is where I feel like the game that we've been talking about from a reputation and from an immersiveness level can start to happen.
The reputation system that will essentially allow us to track values for a player's reputation with an entity. And when I say entity, that could be an NPC, an organization, heck, it could be a table if you want. So long as it has a persistent ID with it, we can track a value against it.
Still alive, I think.
Not only can we track a value, we can track several values. Those values are in something that we call a scope. When we say scope, we're talking about two different things. There's affinity, which is this kind of measure of how much a entity likes you, and that's common across all these entities, NPCs, organizations, etc.
Hello.
A few different things affect affinity. It's going to be mostly your mission performance, and more specifically actually, what you do during that mission. That's when affinity will really get big boosts. It is also worth noting that we can affect affinity through just your everyday action. For organizations, affinity is a little bit different in that it kind of represents the amalgamated opinion of that organization and its members towards you. It's going to control a lot of things like whether or not they want to attack you or help you, for instance. And then there's confidence/career. Confidence is exclusive to mission givers, and it kind of says how good they think you are at your job. Career is how an organization might be tracking that same value, how good you are at your job. The difference with an organization is that they can have several career scopes. So a security company like Crusader Security might have a bounty scope, but they also might have a defense scope or a jailer scope or any number of these career scopes that we want to track your different levels of career proficiency with different kinds of gameplay. Within scopes, we have this concept of standings. These are the ranks that you move through from negative whatever to positive whatever, and we can tell when we assess you, either through the missions or the mission givers or NPCs or however they are looking at you, what standing you are at. One of the things that we are very excited to have is these reputations giving you things when you get to those higher standings. The idea is that this is giving you benefits and rewards for progressing through the game. It's a progression system at its heart. The other thing that I'm really excited about with this coming out is the concept of allowing for group building and community building with this by allowing you to bring something unique to your group of friends table. You might have a reputation with a certain organization at a high level that your other friends don't, and you've maybe done a little bit of extra work to maintain that, get that up there, etc. And as a result, you're able to bring in something cool like a mission that normally they wouldn't be able to do. Plus, everybody likes bragging rights. We all know that you're going to be putting up screenshots on the subreddit or whatever saying, look at all these reputations I have at max, look at what I'm able to maintain, all that. We're darn excited about how that's going to play out potentially. So for this release, a lot of our focus is around missions and how that's going to be affecting things like your affinity and confidence. But going forward, you'll be having actions that affect your reputation of other kinds. So that's going to be things like a mission giver where you might push them, but it also could be like if you shoot at them, or if you shove one of their friends, or if you talk to them in the wrong way, if you choose a bad choice in a conversation tree. It could be any number of things. We even have talked about some fun stuff where, like, Konstantin Herson, for instance, is a bit of a snob. You walk in wearing a bad coat or like some weird clothes, he might think less of you. You can also key it off of things like when you happen to raid a ship that is controlled by maybe Crusader Security. We could key it off of something like you go into the wrong area. I mean, you just walk into a club where the bouncer doesn't want you to be there. We could key it off of you having the wrong decal on your ship, or flying in a way that a person doesn't really think that you're flying in a cool way, essentially. It's very open-ended. One of the things that we're really looking forward to is giving flavor to organizations by essentially playing with what they like and don't like. So there might be an organization that really likes it when you go around PvPing and killing other players. There might be organizations that frown on that a little bit. There might be organizations that really, really like it when you do piracy or smuggling or illegal acts, and there might also be some that aren't so okay with that. And that feel is going to allow us to bring a lot of the lore that up until now has existed on a website into the game so that you guys can actually experience it and get to know these people in the universe. And all that brings me to the topic of drift. Drift is the concept that over time your reputation might move up or down based on the mission giver organization essentially moving towards neutral with you. Now, before you all get your torches and pitchforks out, the concept here isn't to enforce a horrifying grind or anything like that. We do want to reward you for gameplay that you already want to do on your own. But we do want to make sure also that these very high ends of reputation are things that take effort to get to and maintain. And by doing that, we let people sort of be unique and interesting by saying, I want to make sure that I keep that one and that one at max, and put in that effort, and keep people interested in the game in a long-term sense, giving them goals that they can keep on setting out.
So when it comes to how big of a change fundamentally is this, that this is a massive change for not just what it means for the game now, but where the game is going.
Like all things, we'll be putting it out, we'll be watching the feedback, we'll be seeing what the numbers say. We've got analytics all over the place, watching what you guys are doing to see if we need to tweak and tune numbers. It's going to be an ongoing effort, especially when we get to the concept of going from alpha to out of alpha. Those numbers are going to continue to shift. With that in mind, the ability for players to bring something unique to their groups, that excites me a lot. I love in MMOs the systems that make players want to play with each other. That's what makes them better than other games, is that community. And bringing that to Star Citizen to me is one of the most important things that we could do. Making sure that it builds a strong community, that's what's going to bring people back to Star Citizen over and over and over.
It doesn't matter whether you're part of an org, you're running solo, you're a bounty hunter, you're a merc, just soloing it by yourself. So whether it's a corporation, a guild, a syndicate, a faction, or other in the game, including NPCs, you need to have reputation before 1.0. Now it carries over, okay? A lot of people are giving disinformation, misinformation about the rep system getting reset at 1.0. That is bullshit. You are getting your rep carrying over, no questions asked, and confirmed by CIG without question at this stage. So for you to get out of Stanton, the first thing you need to do is be able to have high rep and high paid jobs, right? To get all of the money you need as quickly as possible to get out of Stanton and go where you're going, whether it's going to be Terra, Castra, Pyro, Nyx. You need to have high levels of reputation behind you. Master rank obviously is key, as you can see up on my left, and otherwise on my right for the Pyro system. Choose a faction you want to align with and make sure that you are maxing your rep out with them now, as this will pay dividends in massive amounts to get you started. Base building is going to be very expensive, and not just financially with UECs by that stage, but with minerals, resources, etc. And these factions are going to give you missions once 1.0 hits to go get that stuff and then either trade it in for better stuff, right? So aluminium, you get trilithium, whatever it is, right? From them. And obviously these are very hard to get resources on your own. So you're doing one thing to get an upgrade to another thing to help you build your bases. That, it would be near a bloody impossible exercise trying it by yourself, right? In orgs, right? And this is the big thing. Specialization, specialists. Everyone in an organization needs to have specialists, lead role specialists, and people within their teams who are also specialists as well, because at the end of the day, Star Citizen is not a linear experience. It is completely open sandbox, and you need to be able to have specialists to call on at any time when you need things. If you have generalists, that's great, but no one's, going to be able to get the high level missions or the upgrade missions or be able to have the skill set and qualifications in game to be able to effectively and efficiently source those things for you as well, including resources, food, weapons, armor, and other materials, including ships, right? So, you're going to have your science faction, you're going to have your bounty hunting, you're going to have your engineering, you have your mercenaries, you're going to have all these different people, but they need to want to be able to specialize in specific things. And to do so, they need to then already have done their rep, because their rep is their training. A lot of you orgs out there are going, oh, okay, well, yeah, we'll just work it out when we get to 1.0. You're going to fail. It's just simple. There's no discussion around that. Okay, those of you orgs that are doing actual prep now, send every one of your guys in each division you have through full training by making them max out their rep. It will pay dividends, as I said before, and it will also streamline their understanding of their role when 1.0 hits. Okay, at the end of the day, those of you that are running solo, you get to choose your own path. Problem being is you have to be a master in everything just to be able to make it, right? Even if you're not setting up a base, which I highly recommend you do, for your own security, your own peace of mind, storage, and equipment and things like that, and just having somewhere to call home, you've got a much bigger job ahead of you. Yeah, so you've got to master cargo, you've got to master mining, you've got to master bounty hunting, because you need to learn how to think how they think if they're after you. Mastering piracy, I don't know about that, but if you want to understand the pirate and how they think. So solo players are going to have a very hard time, a specialized experience, because you have to be a master of everything and understand the game better than anybody else. Organizations, on the other hand, they'll have divisions of specialists and then people to call on when things get hairy. So reputation is going to be key, because it's not going to be just... So the whole thing of reputation as well, guys, right, is it is not going to just be constrained to Stanton or UEE space in general. You are going to have universally wide reputation systems that either need upkeep or you need to ensure that you're not pissing off NPCs, mission givers. You're not pissing off other factions or organizations or whatever, right? Because you might be flying through a certain part of space, and if you're hostile with any NPC faction out there, they're going to come for you and come for blood. They're not going to stop until they blow you up, right? And kill you in space, let alone on ground. You won't be able to go into shops. You won't be able to go into space stations. You won't be able to go anywhere if you've got bad rep with any of these organizations or, industrial or guilds or factions or syndicates, because they're just going to kill you on sight. So I understand the piracy gameplay loop, but as I've said in past, it is going to be an extremely hard graft, because you're going to make enemies out of every bloody body, right? And maybe, be friends with the headhunters only in Pyro. It's going to be a big, big problem for you guys. Anywhere you go, anywhere at all, you're going to have NPCs or players shooting at you at all times. Good luck with that, guys. For the rest of you, it's a case of now focusing on what you want to specialize in Star Citizen. First and foremost, max that rep out first. Then dabble in other areas where you can become a generalist and be able to fill spots on teams for other divisions within your organization, and to be able to, be a bit of a support throughout your organization structure. But at the end of the day, you've got your day job, right? So for me, obviously, it's been cargo, right? I'm the first person in the game to have ever reached full master rank in cargo. It's a pip I wear on my shoulder. Now, I've also been dabbling in mercenary and bounty hunting work and getting myself up in the ranks through that until the bugs with all the missions and the bunkers and stuff. They seem to be working again now, which is interesting. Because I've got another gameplay loop, by the way, that I'm playing, which is related to mercenary and bounty hunting work, but different. I'm not going to mention it, obviously, but it's my specialization that I'll be doing. And cargo is going to be my day job, right, to make money for my org, to make sure that I can pay salaries and make sure that once we get the CEO of cargo in, we've got a CEO of mining in, we've got a CEO of scouting and escort in, PMC, the whole bit, right? That I can make sure that I can provide the funds and experience myself to also support in practical daily training. So flight nights, right? We used to have flight nights back in the day. That's dailies, yeah? Or weeklies in a lot of cases. When it comes down to core skill attribution, you have to do your rep. Yes, it gets annoying and you have to do things to ad nauseum, but it's like riding a bike. Once you've learnt it, you never forget it. This is the same. It is reinforced learning. And you will fall back on these experiences and your engagements and things that go wrong in your rep in future. And it'll be second nature for you to fall straight into that slot and go, oh, no, I'm going this way, not going that way. I made that mistake in past. So this is the whole thing, guys, is rep is imperative to your gameplay experience in Star Citizen now and into future. It will be imperative for you to have rep maxed out in your mainstay profession. As I said, solo players, you guys have to master so many things. You have to master bounty hunting. You have to master merc work. You have to master cargo, mining, resource gathering, hunting when it comes in. You have so much to specialize in to just make it in the verse. Now, there's people that want to go, oh, but I just want to be an explorer. Yep, okay, that's fine. But how are you going to make money? You're going to fly around and land on a planet and find some scientific research and sell it to the highest bidder? That's not going to get you your fuel. It's not going to get you your food. It's not going to get you your repairs. All right, so ammo, medical, right? You need to be specialists in multiple things. It's just how it is. So my highest recommendation is if you are going to be a solo player, stick around UEE space for an extended period of time after 1.0 until you find your niche. Find what you really want to do. Exploration is one thing and it's lovely and it's very No Man's Sky. Great, fantastic. I'm not going to mention the other game made by Bethesda, but it's only one tiny element of your overall survivability and experience in Star Citizen. Orgs, okay, same thing, right? Yes, specialization, but have a secondary, have a tertiary skill set as well. Understand too, if you're part of an organization, you're not going to be carried. You're not going to have people just give you money. Unless you're part of a corporation, right? That my structure's different, obviously. Corporate organizations have to pay salaries because everyone's on retainer, yeah? And we pay people on a weekly basis to go do things for us. But in let's say a PMC org or a bounty hunting org or whatever it is, you're going to need to make your own money daily. And you're also going to have to fall back on someone telling you what to do when they need you to do it. At the same time, they're not going to pay you a retainer. You're going to run out of money if you haven't got a profession, okay? And when you do not have money or fuel in your ship to go to these engagements, there's a high probability you'll get kicked from the org. So self-sustainability is key with reputation now. So if you are running low on funds, you can say, look, I'm doing a week of cargo running, mining, whatever it is, to make some money. So when we do have our next major engagement, i.e. Idrises and Javelins, I will have enough money behind me to get my ship repaired and things like that in battle. So that's the thing, guys. You need to start working on your rep immediately. You cannot put this off any longer, because what happens if we get to 1.0 and everyone decides to start running rep day one? There won't be enough to go around. Cargo runners, geez, Hull C cargo runners, you'll be literally queued up for hours just to drop your cargo off, to then go back and wait more hours to then pick up again. It's the same with lower ranked cargo for the Taurus, the C2, whatever, the Raft, whatever ship you want to use. You're going to be queued up at cargo lifts for hours on end, and there's going to be squabbles and people reporting each other because they're not going fast enough, and it is slowing down your entire gameplay experience. It's the same for mining, for refineries, and also resource acquisition. There's going to be people jumping all over the nodes you want. It's the same with bounty hunting. There's not going to be any bounties to get because by the time you even get into your pilot seat, boom, the bounty's done. You've lost. You didn't get it. Mercenaries. While people are running rep, you're not going to make any money, right? Because there's no money for you to make. So keep this all in context, guys. The imperative nature of rep is going to be an ongoing and a maintenance-based thing for you as a player specifically, outside of everything else in Star Citizen moving forward as well. You need to, as it said in the video, right, to wear the right clothes or armor, which is suitable for that NPC to take you seriously. If you stuff up, you're going to lose rep just going to the meeting, just like in real life, right? You're not going to show up in flip-flops and board shorts and a singlet top to a corporate meeting, are you? Vice versa, if you're going to the beach, you're not going to dress in a suit. So guys, you need to really start doing your rep immediately, because if you don't, well, it's going to be to your great detriment and failure as a Star Citizen of the stars when 1.0 hits. That is it. There's no, oh, I'll do it next week. If you're going to do it next week, you're never going to do it. Start today and start getting it done. Get the numbers up, get your time in, do the grind, get where you need to be now. So when 1.0 hits and you see all these Muppets doing all this silly crap, you can just laugh, sit back and laugh and go, ha ha ha, yeah, right. You're grinding up all those lower missions, but I'm already at Hull C and I've gone and made 50 million in the last week and no one else is doing it because you're already a master rank. You're just going and making your money, what, a week, maybe two, make 100 mil, you're good to go. And by the time you finish doing that after the first week or two, then you maybe start seeing a couple of Hull Cs popping up to the locations you're dropping off at. But there's multiple drop-off locations at space stations, right? So you'll be kind of finishing up and they're going to kind of be starting. You're just going to go, oh, I pity you, bro. How much grind have you just put in? It's going to take months, by the way, for cargo specifically, right? Because this is my forte. If you start off from courier missions all the way up to Hull C, it'll take 6 months of that grind to just get out of Stanton. Think about that. Same with mining. Find your little hidden asteroid belts and your pockets of space, planetary areas, grid out planets, work out where the nodes usually spawn ahead of time. Bounty hunters. You need to find a secondary profession, something more mundane and simplistic like cargo. Mercs, you guys are going to be at a massive disadvantage for the first 6 months of 1.0. You also need to find a secondary specialization to fall back on to make money, to be able to upgrade your ships, buy things, right? And have stock in inventory to sell to people, because that's going to be your main gameplay loop for the first 12 months after 1.0 is you have to have ship parts, weapons, armor, etc. in stock to sell to clients as part of your services. Now, I've got a really good agreement with a mercenary already who's already switched on to that, and we have an exclusive agreement and he'll be going on retainer as well. And I'll be asking him to source sales for us for our procurement services, the grind we have to do, so he can make profit margins within that and receive profit share for helping us move that stock, right? And that's an exclusive agreement we've already made. Anyone else has no idea of doing that. Think smarter, guys. Don't be lazy. Get things done and get into Star Citizen properly. Things are so much better right now in 4.3. Yes, you've got all the other problems and cargo lifts and all that crap, but the gameplay ability, the smoothness, the FPS gameplay especially as well, it is completely and utterly enjoyable and doable properly now. So stop stuffing around, stop procrastinating, and get in and get your professions done, max level, and then sit back, wait for 1.0, run some rep here and there just for extra money in your pocket in the meantime, try some different ways of doing things. I had to do that with Hull C Cargo, work around the bugs and work through the bugs to find out how to fix problems, especially with Everest and sometimes Bajini, to actually have the cargo unload. Work it out now. So if there are any of those issues in future, you're going to be the guy that unloads next to the guy next to you freaking out trying to pull boxes off his Hull C in the middle of space at the space station and making clutter and then getting repositioned and his ship deleted and all the cargo boxes, rep boxes at that, get deleted next to you. And you're taking off going back to get another run, right? Because you know the workarounds, you know the work-throughs and how to solve the problem. And that's with any profession. Our bunkers are now working. Wow. Oh, shock horror, right? So all of you bounty hunters and mercs, start grinding the crap out of those bunkers, man. Get it done. Get maxed out. Focus on more important things at 1.0 than catching up with the crowd. The people that watch this video, you're going to be the ones that benefit from this. Share the hell out of the video. Get the point across to the rest of the community. If people don't end up doing it, that's good for you, right? And look, a mass majority aren't going to. So be it, right? It's in your hands. Your future in Star Citizen is in your hands. Your org is not going to carry you. If you're a solo player, you have the biggest, most complex job of all, and you guys are the ones that need to be maxing out rep more than anybody right this minute. Anyway, guys, that's the video. If you want to know any more about how to best run cargo rep, for example, or run bunker missions and things like that, obviously we have a merc on staff. So if you want to learn how to do proper mercenary play, and hit us up in the comments, I'll pass you on to him in game and get you to make friends with him. He is an excellent person. And a nice person at that. He's more of a humanitarian than an actual merc anyway. It's kind of a bit of a misnomer calling him a merc. But anyway, guys, look, also just before I go, the last video got absolutely buried by YouTube because I used a really good song at the start to introduce the whole premise of what mercenary gameplay is. And yeah, it got throttled to shit. Please, if you can give it a watch and give it a like and show YouTube that they don't control the narrative of what video creation is, because we are content creators. There's the key word, creator. We are there to provide you guys really good content that means something and is creative and exciting and engaging and informative. You guys know that's what I do. Please, if you could show some support with that as well, obviously chuck a sub in, chuck a like in, but more importantly, just please, at the very least, just watch that video all the way through. It is super informative. It is super interesting. I learned things from it myself. So if you guys could also give it a watch, pump the numbers up, that would be fantastic. I would massively appreciate it. We need to show YouTube that being a content creator is for humans, not AI. And the only way we're going to do that is we're going to use copyrighted content to make sure that you guys get the entertainment that you need or require in your day. I'm not here to make $1 million on YouTube. It's not my purpose. My purpose is to educate, inform, share information, learn, as well as obviously give you guys entertainment. There is so much slop tube out there now. I don't want to be one of those people. And the mass majority of Star Citizen slop tubers that are out there are really diluting this content genre. And I'm trying to bring back some decency to that and some quality instead of just, oh, this is what happened in the news this week in Star Citizen. Jared said something. Who gives a shit? It's not relevant. It is not going to affect your future gameplay experience, and it is not going to make Star Citizen what you want it to be for you.
We ask, got a minute? You think, wait a minute. You say, I know you. We think, but do you? We say, come along. You ask, but where to? We say, you think about it. You think. You say yes.
We guessed you'd say yes.
You ask where to start. We say, follow your heart. You think we're one brand. We say we are more. You ask, how much more? We say, so much more. Mold me. We say, we will stretch you. You think you can be more. We say, you can be more! You ask, how much more? There is so much more in store. Learn a craft. Learn a trade. There's a journey to be made. Choose a path or go off it. It's up to you. You thought, you asked, now we say, do. You think, do I have what it takes? We know you have what it takes. You ask, where will we go? We say, we don't know. You show us.
It's your experience, it's my experience. Let's experience the future now so we can get prepared for when it comes. Let us be the minority of people way ahead of the game, already setting up home bases in Pyro, Terra, and also Castra. Getting out of Stanton, getting a head start, expanding territory, and then taking over the financial ecosystems of those planets early on compared to anybody else. Massive orgs are going to flail and fail. It's the smaller orgs and the really well-organized specialist teams, they're the ones that are going to get out first. And guys, we've got NPCs coming in, base defenses, orbital defenses as well. The quicker we get out there, the quicker we're building, the quicker we're expanding, the quicker we're monopolizing resources, including food and water, there's no chance anyone else is going to have, right? Anyway, guys, I'm CTT, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace out. Cheers.